Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 237.
You got it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's your boy, Gabe Patillo, with Tim Router, Chris McCracken, and Ed Placencia. I said those backwards.
Well, in your little mental order, yes, you did.
Yes, exactly.
You said their names correctly. You just said them in your wrong order.
Right. Yes. Of course, and as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here, for joining us, coming back again. It's amazing to us that people listen to us talk every week and are involved in our lives in a deeper way and in a deeper place. I'm going to play some guitar for you guys. I'm just kidding.
Please do.
He's playing the guitar. Tune that junk up.
Shoot. Freak.
Somebody commented last week. They're like, hey, what was that last 4 minutes about of the show last week?
Oh, so good.
Can you send us a link? I was like, yeah, I got you. Oh, man. Router.
Yes, sir.
Let's kick it off with the old Tiger Claw.
All right. Piper's topic of the week is we're still mad at Ed for not calling us back.
I don't think that's real.
I told her. She said it came from her lips.
She does love some Ed.
No,
so,
yeah, she does. She loves her Ed. No, it's just funny. We're giving Ed a hard time because he's been, of course, moving and he just got internet. So, and he hasn't called anybody.
And
back,
he just moved back to the town he's from.
That's right.
Oh man, it's
like
crazy.
Not just moved to some random city.
Exactly.
Right.
It's so
He
weird.
moved back to his childhood. Have you
right.
seen my childhood?
Anywho, okay, no. The real topic of the week is soccer, because soccer, we finally had our first practice yesterday, a month into the season, because of rain and snow and all. They keep like every time we've had a practice, which is usually on Tuesdays, they have canceled it because we had rain 2 weeks ago, and then last week was spring break. We have our first game this Saturday, so we had one practice, and now we have our first game on Saturday. So
I didn't know that you guys had practices. I thought you guys just played games every time.
You could call them
I kind of thought the same thing.
practices, I guess, but yeah, it's basically just a bunch of girls just muddling around the soccer ball. And
Do you have like a laser pointer that you have down in the grass that you just have them follow?
Trying to get them to go the right way, trying to get them to pass to one another without stumbling over each other. But it's awesome.
Yep.
It's
Struggle
a lot of
is
fun.
real.
So Coach Tim is back for the season.
Nice.
Me
I
and my
can't
buddy
wait to hear
Dave.
how Coach Tim morphs throughout the season.
It's gonna be glorious. So I sent it.
We've got to
in a
get
good
some
place.
video of Coach Tim at some point.
Oh no, Lauren will get some together for you. I'm very good. I'm very good. I'm
Throwing the clipboard.
picture kicking and screaming with Will Ferrell, and that's pretty much me. So no, it's awesome. So Piper's having a good time. She loves playing soccer, and we have pretty much most of the same girls from our season this past fall. So it was good. So good first soccer practice. We have a game on Saturday, and so that's it for Piper's topic of the week. Still living with my parents, and everything seems to be kind of settled in now, which is really nice. We are the new house is definitely on its way. We've got footings, and they're probably going to start framing this week. So things are moving and shaking, which it's very exciting. Like, because last week it was kind of sad because we closed on our house on Monday, and so it's nice to see progress on the new house because we're like, so it gets us a little bit more excited for
Of course.
the next 6 months. But yeah, living with the in-laws has been really great so far. I feel like I'm kind of in a hotel. I come home and she's like done our laundry, and I'm like, Ma, you don't have to do all this stuff. But she's been really, really sweet, and Dad's been great too. So man, just work. It's all I've been doing right now. I've played maybe 3 or 4 Rocket League games, and that's about it as far as any type of gaming. And I'm kind of in this weird funk because it's like my backlog is so big, I don't know where to start. And
it's overwhelming.
It is like, and I've gone through this phase before, and I think it's one of those things where you just have to power through. But the problem is work has me slammed right now. Like I'm like getting up every morning at like 4 a.m. to try and get caught up with stuff. All these projects are happening. It's all happening at the same time. So like the rest of this week is just, it's brutal. So yeah, I haven't been able to do a whole lot. So I've just been Clash Royaling and
there you go,
and working. So I am pretty much zero fun. Yeah, nothing really eventful happened this past weekend, and that is it for me. I'm boring. I am sorry.
So you guys didn't go anywhere for spring break? You stayed here, no Disney World? Didn't take a private jet anywhere?
We moved on. We moved for spring break. That's what we did. So that's always fun. That's a great spring break.
Filled up 2 dumpsters and moved across town.
2 dumpsters, move across town filled up 2 storage units, and that's it.
Lord have mercy.
Boring.
Christopher?
Well, how's it going? I'm gonna be a bit different than Mr. Router, because I have been busy at work. I have that in common with him. Not quite to the same level. I'm not getting up at 4 every single morning to get my stuff taken care of. But because I was out for a number of days, and then I came back and had to kind of like catch back up with some projects and get those all in a good spot. And this week we've been doing a lot of shooting so far. So that side's been a little bit busy. But then on the home side, last weekend on Saturday, I went up to, I met my in-laws halfway. They were watching our dog for us while we were on our trip. So I met up and I picked up Ellie and I brought her home. And then I have been doing absolutely nothing else except for play Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm
so jealous.
It's been rainy around here, so I haven't been able to do I did mow the yard, on Saturday. That was pretty much all that I did. Yeah, the lard.
I mowed the lard.
I mowed the yard on Saturday, and then after that, it's just been video games, or specifically Horizon. The only other thing that happened is this last night, or I guess technically speaking this morning. Now that I think about it, just a couple of hours ago, I had to wake up because my phone was going off because there was a tornado warning and sirens were going off too. So I had to go get the dog real quick, go in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. Yep. And I'm like, now we're good. And then I finally went back to sleep. I was like, okay, we're done with all the exciting part.
You didn't just stay in bed?
He's outside by the window. He's by the window looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're like, can I really not be by this window? I don't know. I want to see the danger coming.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a huge wall, just seemed like it was going across the entire upper metroplex of Texas. So, and it went through really quick, but it was pretty really high winds. I don't know if a tornado actually touched down anywhere. I didn't see any news reports when I was checking the news right after I got up, but there was definitely a lot of high wind damage. So, so that's good. But sirens were going off, so I got in the closet or the bathroom with Ellie. I'm taking pictures, sending them to Stacy, letting her know because she's up. She's working nights up in Seattle right now. As far as Horizon goes, I have finished it and I have platinumed it.
Yes!
Oh,
congrats, man!
Get
that is
that
awesome.
trophy,
wow, dude.
Get that trophy. Hey, get that trophy.
Right.
Man, that game is just so much fun.
Good.
It really is. The story is good. It's definitely a good payoff. I felt very satisfied with the way that things twisted and turned and then how it ended. I don't want to give anything away, obviously, to you guys and anybody else who hasn't played it, but it does pretty much kind of set it to where, and even though they've said that they're working on more stuff for Horizon, it does set it up to where you're like, okay, a sequel's got to be coming.
Oh, good.
So that's really cool. And it's just so much fun. A lot of, I've done every side mission. I've done every collectible. I did every single thing. And I got to the point where I was like, I really want to get the platinum trophy when I beat the game. So I was looking ahead and seeing what trophies are needed. What am I going to have to do? And you have to do so many of the side missions in order to have the trophy, the platinum pop at the end.
Yeah.
But the way that the game ends is it ends and then it reinstates the game world back to a certain point so that you could, if you hadn't finished certain missions, you could go back and redo them and pick them up.
Yeah.
Or you can just go roam around the free world if you want. So
yeah, that's always the worst when you finish the game and then you're like, oh, I could have gotten this trophy when I was back doing that. But if they get you back to a spot like that, that's really great. That's very convenient, I should say.
There's one trophy in particular where you have to have all these allies come to your aid, but you have to have done certain things in the game to have all
them
of the
your
allies show
right?
up there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe not every one of them would be there. And so it's kind of feels like it's mostly made for that trophy because it puts you back right before the spot you would need for that trophy to pop. It gives you the ability to finish everything else. But I really like that because that was one of the main reasons I started looking ahead is because I was afraid, like, I really want to platinum this game, but it's taken me a long time, which that's the one thing I forgot to look is how many hours I put into. But I think last week when I looked at it, I was over 40. So if I had to guess, I had to have been at least 50.
That's not that much.
That's
Yeah.
great.
But
though.
I was afraid that, like, I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to miss a trophy and I'm not going to be able to get it, or it's going to have to go through all the stuff just to get one. And so I got scared. And then when I started looking into it, I was like, oh my gosh, they set it up perfectly where I can just play the game how I want and I can always get the trophy. Like, there's no way for me to be locked out of it.
That's great.
But I really wanted to get it, like, as the game, like, crescendoed at the end, you know? So I went ahead and did all this side stuff off recording and because they didn't really necessarily tie into the main story so much. And it was a lot of fun. There's these enemies in the game, or robots in the game, called glint hawks. They're kind of like, what are they called? Like buzzards or whatever. They kind of like, they grate whenever an animal or a machine goes down, they'll go over there and they'll scavenge parts and whatnot. Those are the biggest pain in the butt in the game, and you fight them a lot. So just if you play the game, get you some armor that protects against freeze damage because those things are a pain, and you fight them a bunch, and they just keep spitting all this like ice and snow on you.
That's annoying.
And it's crazy, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Very
man.
rewarding.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. That's so cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. And especially because if anybody, like you guys said that y'all really like using a bow and arrow in a lot of games, plus like Tomb Raider, that's pretty much all you use. The only other weapon that you use is a spear that you have, and that's for like close melee stuff. And then at one point you have the option to get this thing. It's kind of like a big slingshot that hurls bombs. But man, that bow is just so much fun to use. It's so fast to switch on the fly to different types of arrows,
Dude,
and
that
it's
bow
very, very
feels
satisfying.
so good.
Yeah.
And there's not a bunch of curve on it. Like you could shoot straight for a pretty far distance where you're like, oh shoot, man, that thing's pretty far away. I'm gonna have to aim way above it.
Right.
So the arrow gets out there and then curves down. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of that. I mean, I would imagine that as you go, I've only played a little bit of it. So as you go, there's probably times where you're like, oh yeah, you do have to put a little arc on it. But like compared to like Zelda that I'm playing right now, that I tell you what,
Can't wait to hear this.
that bow and arrow don't feel like anything compared to the Horizon Zero Dawn bow and arrow.
Is it like the wooden stick arrow and bow?
Yes.
It's like you're just throwing it like, huh.
You'd do better just
know.
to throw the bow at whatever you're shooting at.
Exactly.
In Horizon, you have two different bows you can eventually get because as you go along, you can get more weapons. One of them is I don't remember the actual name. I think it's called the Hunter bow, but it's the one where you do you can learn how to use it quicker and reload it faster. Eventually, later on, as you upgrade skills, you can put 2 arrows on it or 3 arrows on it. But then they also have a sharpshooter bow, which that one, it's like harder to pull it back. And those arrows go further and straighter. So, like right now,
Wow.
when you're trying to fight like a hawk or something in the air, and you use the regular bow, because they're flying and their wings are flapping, it may like push the arrow away. Or if you're doing multiple arrows, it may push a couple of them away. But the sharpshooter bow usually will hit dead on and at further distances.
That's dope.
But
So
yeah,
because
really
you
cool.
platinumed it, are you pretty much, at least for now, are you done with the game? Is there pretty much nothing else for you to do, or can you still run around and
Yeah, is it kind of like Far Cry where we platinumed Far Cry, but there was still missions that you could do?
well, you can still go in the world and do anything and everything that you want, like just roam around, or you can do missions and little side
Oh,
things.
there is side
But
things still
I've
to complete.
done absolutely everything.
Oh wow!
So, like, I did every mission, every side mission. There's these things called errands. There may be one that I hadn't done, so it's possible I can go back and do that. But
Wow.
I'm expecting to go back in there and do, like, just roam around and mess around in the world, because there's this armor set that you get, and fortunately the game makes it to where you really can't even achieve getting it until the very end of the game, pretty much. Because you have to have this one piece to unlock the piece of armor, and you get that on like the second to last mission or third to last mission, and only if you know where to go. I looked it up in a video beforehand because I wanted to get the trophy. There's a trophy tied to getting this piece of armor, and this armor is like ridiculously OP. Like you basically take no damage while you're wearing this armor, and then at some point, like it starts to blink red, and so you have to run away if you're fighting something, because at that point you can take damage. So like I didn't use any of that for finishing out the game because I was recording it and I didn't want to be OP and like cheesing the game really. So I didn't use any of it. So I haven't really played around with it a lot. So I just want to go in there and like put it on and like fight the biggest beast that I can find and just laugh at him as it tries to smash me around. And I'm like, ha ha ha.
Tink, tink,
That's
tink,
awesome.
tink.
I just want to do all that crazy stuff in the world still. It's kind of the same situation with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I finished the game, I platinumed it, but I just didn't want to leave the world yet. So I just kept going in and doing like side missions and whatnot. Even though I'd already done them, I just wanted to mess around. Now, it doesn't seem in Horizon that you can go back and replay a mission if you've completed it. I don't think, at least before I beat the game. Now that it reinstated the world, maybe some of those open up again. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely looking to go back in there and mess around a little bit before I move on to whatever is next, because I haven't made up my mind what I'm moving on to now.
I was just gonna ask you, like, what is next for you then?
I really want to get Nier. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up right now. Yeah, I do have I have a 20% off coupon that I kind of want to use. I'm thinking I might use it on that before the coupon expires. But I also was thinking maybe wait for sale. But I kind of want to jump back into what is it? The Shadow of Mordor? I kept wanting to say Shadow of War.
Right.
Please,
Just to give that another shot again to see if it's, how it feels. The only thing is I feel like I'm going to go back to the beginning because I tried to jump in where my save was and I couldn't remember the combos, buttons, and I didn't remember exactly what was going on. I was like, man, I really feel like I should start over. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I don't think I was that far into the game. So I'd only opened up the second area, if you will. So
that's an easy well, it's not an easy platinum, but that's a decent platinum to get to. If you're starting to get that platinum vibe, man, go with Shadow because you can definitely get it done pretty quickly. And that game is so good. That's one of my platinums too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna. If I end up not using this coupon to get Nier, then that's what I'm gonna move on to. I think because I just want to give it another go. And if for some reason it doesn't stick with me or I decide to abandon it again, I'm not really sure after that. We'll just have to see. But I'm excited to. Even though I really enjoyed Horizon, in a weird way, I'm kind of excited, too, to be done so that I can move on to something else. Because I didn't want to play... I was thinking about, like, I'll play Shadow of Mordor, like, when I'm not recording or whatever. But I knew the button combos were so different. I was like, I don't want to mess my brain up because...
That's smart.
I'm too old nowadays. It's like, I can't focus in on that. So I get annoyed when a shooter, like, doesn't use the Call of Duty controls. I'm like, come on, man, really?
I'm the same way.
Yep.
Jeez. But yeah, I think Shadow of Mordor is what I'm going to move on to next. But
I'm excited.
I'll definitely let you guys know for sure what I end up doing.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
And that is it for me.
There you go. Ed, will you please catch Tim up on what's been going on in your life since he's very upset with you?
Well, first of all, thanks you guys for excusing me last week when I had to move when the movers showed up.
Yeah, no worries.
Unexpectedly early. Apparently, they were there at 4 a.m. and were just sitting out in front of the house in their truck sleeping.
No
way.
That's
so
crazy.
bad.
So why did they say noon? That's what I wanted to know. It's like, hey, it'll be here by noon. Oh, no, we're here at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know if they were different movers than were in what packed us up. So I don't know where they were from or out of or where they had to come from. So, I definitely wasn't upset that they showed up early, but it definitely also caught me off guard a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, it went pretty well. It is extra money if they move things upstairs for you. So we said, you know what? Everything right here in the front room is fine.
I know that's right.
Wow.
Golly, y'all try to get somebody up in here. Jeez.
And I spent the rest of the week taking everything upstairs.
Yeah, you did. You got a good workout in, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did. I got a week-long workout in, and
oh man,
it was nice. The place is pretty much together. We maybe have only hung a couple of pictures, and we've got a couple boxes of pictures to choose from. So besides those photos, everything is pretty much where it's going to be. We got our internet put in yesterday, and it's just weird being back in that same area where you grew up in, where the cable man shows up and, oh, hey, I went to high school with Sarah, and everywhere you turn, which was really cool. He turned out to be a gamer. And nice.
Nice.
It was really cool. We talked about, he saw our collection of board games and video games, and we were just talking about gaming and Overwatch, and he's loving the Switch. He's loving Zelda, and it was cool to kind of pick his brain and hear what he liked about it and stuff like that. It was really cool. And then, just being able to, yesterday I got together with Dad and we got together for lunch, and I said, it's just really cool to see you and not have to say, I'll see you maybe in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
That's been really
great,
nice,
man.
just to the number of people that we've been able to see and know that we can see them again in a week or so. We've got a game night coming up Friday night, and just been really nice just to be in that small town vibe again, which it definitely has its cons if you're a big city person like I am, but it definitely has its pros as well. So it's been really nice. We just got our internet yesterday, like I mentioned, and because of that, I totally forgot. Even if you downloaded the game onto your hard drive, you can't play an Xbox game.
Yeah, what is the deal with that? I thought that was not supposed to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so they can make sure you didn't copy the game from someone else's hard drive or what it was. So unless you have the disc, you can't play just a downloaded game.
Right. It has to check the authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. So I played Firewatch again on the PS4
Nice.
because they let you play your downloaded games.
Because I know on the PlayStation side, like if you like, because now that I have, or Stacy's using the other PS4, but I still have my login on it as well. So if I log in over there, if for some reason the internet, like I have an Ethernet cable connected to it now, but before I didn't have I had Wi-Fi, and maybe the Wi-Fi might drop out or something.
Right.
And I couldn't do anything over there, but it's because it wasn't my primary account. Whereas my PS4 in here, if the internet goes down or whatever, because I'm kind of like you, Ed, the vast majority of my games are downloaded. But because it's my primary console, it didn't matter whether I have internet or not. I can play.
Right.
And I could have, I don't spend as much time in the Xbox world, but I thought that was like their whole big shtick about like, oh, we're removing the always online check-in. And it's like you should never have to be online again which granted, I guess if you're not online, you wouldn't have downloaded a game.
You do.
So maybe that's where it's the difference.
Well, and you know what's funny is that your game doesn't even show up in your library. So I would look at my external drive, see that it's 40% full, but none of the games showed up. So I couldn't even find them.
So you do have to be connected, and if you don't have internet, you're kind of
exactly. As soon as we
luck.
connected to the internet, they all popped in, and I was just like, "Really?" I was like you, Chris. I didn't realize it was like that.
I mean, I understand. You would think it would be something where, like, when you download it during that process, because obviously at that point you're connected online, it checks to see, like, okay, yep, you're tied to this gamer tag or this game account. This is yours, and that should authenticate your license. You shouldn't ever have to authenticate again. I mean, like on the disc side, that's the whole reason for, at least on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, that's the reason that they have the disc, really, is because it downloads the data onto your hard drive. The disc, like, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention who use it, but it spins up when you first start the game. It's just authenticating the license, and then it dies, and you're playing off the hard drive then. So, I mean, that makes sense why that works that way, but you wouldn't think they'd need to do it over and over.
Yeah, I thought it would write something like onto my hard drive or onto the game file saying, "Yep, this guy's cool. He can play this." And
nope.
Yeah, it really threw me off.
That's crazy.
It still thinks you're cool though, Ed.
Well, that's good. That's all I really want.
It's like, you can't play this, but doggone, you cool, man.
Right.
You cool.
He's still cool though, man. We straight, right?
I was really stoked yesterday. Someone had hit me up on Twitter and said, "Hey, you're playing the Mafia 3 DLC, right?" And I was like, "Oh crap, that comes out today!" So I downloaded that, and I mentioned it during my gameplay. I was like, "Oh man, it's so good to be back in this world again." And then I realized I'm playing as a black man in the South in the '60s. I don't know if I mean it like that, but it's just fun to play the game again.
He's the smell of racism in the morning.
Right.
The smell of racism.
Exactly. But man, it was the DLC is called Faster Baby. It's a lot of fun. It's probably a couple hours long.
Oh, so have you finished it already?
I finished it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I finished it last night, and it's a mini story mission plus a couple extra side missions. And it's funny how they set it up. It's kind of like how you mentioned, Chris, how the game kind of resets right before the last the last checkpoint or the final boss or decision or whatever, just so you can do everything. But when the DLC loads in, it doesn't say where it is and I struggled, looked around for 20 minutes just to find how to open the DLC and how to find it.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so
because
bad.
the DLC pops up when you look at your mini map. They have a list of missions, but the mission isn't called the name of the DLC. It's not called Faster Baby. It's called Another Brother Falls. And I thought it was a side mission that I had just never gotten to. And, so it took me a little bit to find it, but man, it was.
So there's no like icon or something that like, oh, all the ones of this DLC have like a little red icon or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty. I guess it's in a different territory, but I didn't really realize it. Because it's been so long since I played, I forgot the names of the neighborhoods and the territories and what have you. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. They set it up really nicely. And if it was just the mini mission, I would have been satisfied. But the fact that they threw in a few side missions as well, that was just really cool of them. A nice little bonus. And man, I will never get tired of shooting racists. I just
Isn't it great? Yeah,
it is.
Awesome.
It's fun.
It's great.
I'm just kidding.
But and then also yesterday, I had totally forgotten. I don't know when it dropped. Maybe it was this week. The Walking Dead Chapter 3 of their latest iteration came out, so I downloaded it. Haven't opened it yet, but I'm super stoked to get into that as well.
I saw a commercial for that, and I was like,
on TV.
Oh, yeah, on television.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't realize that was coming out either.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm excited to get into that, and that's pretty much me for the week. Pretty much settled in and trying to get back to a little bit of normalcy here. So we'll see how that works out.
Is it crazy? I mean, you grew up there. That's like from what age to what age?
Isn't it the best?
I grew up here from 0 to 21 is when I left the area.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah, so it's.
And then what about with Sarah?
Wow.
Sarah, she left when she was 23, so it's been almost 10 years since she's been. She's visited quite a bit, but it's just living here, yeah, it's been about 10 years.
Gosh,
I know.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
That's awesome. I like it.
Gabriel,
What's going on?
Yeah,
Gabe, real. How's the tour?
We had spring break this last week, so we didn't.
Yay!
Spring break. Yeah, exactly. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Gabe is right now shirtless while
Yeah,
recording the
exactly.
podcast.
I did 9 wet T-shirt contests this week.
Nice.
It was
Well done,
awesome.
well done.
I placed in 3 of them.
Oh, very nice.
Hey,
well
hey.
done.
Best in show.
Yeah, exactly. Tried the hardest.
Yeah.
I got the Why is he here award?
The Everyone Gets a Trophy Award.
Yeah, exactly.
Participation trophy.
Right. And this week flew by, man. I remember like at the beginning of last week, I was like, all right, spring break. It's Monday. We're going to take it nice and easy, soak in the time that I'm having with family. And then I feel like I looked up and I was like, and I'm leaving tonight. And I was like, what
Oh, man.
is going on? So we just kind of like, I guess just been busier than I thought and running around. And, you know, that sucks. And
Yeah.
so,
So fun.
The only thing that's I'm kind of looking forward to, obviously, is my big hangout that we're having in Chicago tomorrow.
Nice.
Which is going to be weird because this podcast is going to come out the day after I've gone and hung out with all these people. And so that'll be fun.
You got to get more than one picture. You got to take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, take mucho pictures.
Okay, mucho pictures.
Yes, mucho.
I will do that. Okay. And and so I'm excited about that. And I'm just extremely tired this morning, and it sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because I remember you ever look at the clock and you're like, all right, and you start doing the math in your head.
Yeah.
And so me and Jenny kind of like decided to do like a date at home last night. Like she had an event to go to. And so we were going to go out, but we were both exhausted. And she was like, well, you want to just like, I'll get some P.F. Chang's and, you know, we'll watch some television shows that we need to catch up on. And I was like, that sounds good. And I don't have to go anywhere and, you know, all that. And so.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we watched like 3 episodes of This Is Us last night.
Oh,
and
man.
we're finishing up. Man, forget that show, dude.
Really?
Gosh.
What's the deal with that?
The Kleenex is gone.
Dude,
I can't tell you how many people are like, you have to watch this show, and we just haven't. And I think
I freaking cried for 3 episodes straight.
Yep.
I was like, this is bull crap. Why?
Stacy watched the show and she's like, I was like, okay, and I didn't jump on right in the beginning. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get it because I need to watch all season 1 so that when season 2 drops, we can watch like together, lock in step.
Yes.
oh
Right.
wow.
Yes. It's the acting is so good that you're just so mad. I was like, what? So we watched one episode and everybody's crying.
Right.
And I was like, all right, you want to watch something else? She was like, wait, we're not going to just go to the next one. I was like, I don't feel like doing this to myself.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't feel like being depressed
crying.
or
Not,
crying the whole time.
It's not like watching Extreme Makeover Home Edition and you're just happy for people and you're crying.
Right.
It's like sad crying.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh.
That's
It's
pretty
just
much the
the
reason why we
worst.
haven't started in on it. Because Lauren's like, I don't want to be upset the whole time.
Right. It's great, but it's just like it's so good that you're pissed. So that was me all last
That's great
night.
though. It's nice to have like good television back.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
good,
Yeah, it is.
solid
but-
acting shows, great story. Like
Yes.
I miss that.
Yeah. So it was fine.
Yeah, you sound thrilled.
I'm in the middle of doing that. I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, I did a voiceover thing for a basketball game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir.
And so they needed us to finish that up. And so we're in the midst of doing that. So yesterday and today, all day, we were doing that.
Nice.
And so that's been fun getting the team back together because I don't know if you guys remember, one guy flies in from Canada and then one guy flies in from Texas. And then we all meet at this studio at my buddy Rusty's studio, and he engineers the whole day for us.
Cool.
And so we had so much fun the first time we did it, which was 3 days back in, I don't know, December maybe or something like that. So getting us back together and doing it, we just picked up right where we left off, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's been really fun. I found out it's for a casino game.
Oh.
Nice.
It's for like a casino, but this could be some kind of casino basketball game. I don't freaking know. So for you gamblers out there, if you hear my voice in the distance, stay away from that
Nice.
machine. I'm just kidding. And then this is the last 2 weeks of tour. So I leave
Wow,
for
already?
like 12 days.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The heck?
So this last this last 2 weeks is the last 2 weeks. So
Wow.
even though I'm gone the whole time, we do come home for like a couple hours. Like we pull in like the morning, get a couple hours at home, and then leave that night.
Oh
And
man.
so we get to come home and kiss the babies and then go back out. But yeah, man, it's the last ones of this tour. And
Wow.
then we have some time off, so I'm super looking forward to getting back into some like regular gaming. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like my gaming diet has been terrible. And so,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, playing when I can. And I
Yeah.
just don't like that. Instead of being able to just sit down and put in some hours and
Right? Yeah. That's always. It feels so much better. It's more comfortable when you're
right. Yeah.
settled, and you can just be like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. So I missed that. So I'll be glad to get back to that. Get back to this doggone.
So then you'll just be
Backlog.
doing spot dates after these 2 weeks. You'll just be doing spot dates until
Right.
festival season, right?
Yep, spot days until
Oh,
festival
it's
season. Exactly.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So excited about that. And I think that's about it. Moving that old needle on Zelda a little bit.
Yeah.
And doing it.
No, here's the thing, Gabe. I don't know. I need you to tell me. I don't know.
Oh, what do you mean?
I want
Means
more
explain
details.
yourself, sir.
Use more
So-
adjectives.
There's there's these things called the big thing is to kill Ganon. That's he's been I think he's been the bad
What?
guy and everything, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Right, spoiler alert, you're supposed to kill the bad guy. And so there's these guardians that you have to like wake up that will help you in defeating the end boss. And so I've just been doing that.
You sound thrilled, by the way.
But are you just doing it, or are you enjoying it anymore? Like,
Is it a grind?
Yeah.
It's a grind.
It's not a
It sounds like
grind
a
because
grind.
it's not a grind because there's no leveling. So it's not like but you have to. I don't feel like it points you in a direction very well. And it's funny because somebody last week said the exact thing I don't want to hear. They're like, stop trying to. I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but it was something like, stop trying to beat the game and just explore.
Right.
And I'm like,
And you're
bleh,
nah.
that sounds terrible.
I didn't buy a map. I bought a game.
This isn't a treasure hunt.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand what they were saying.
Right.
But at the same time, I hate that.
At the same time, I want to win. It's a game.
Yeah. I want to finish it. I want to be pointed in a direction, and I don't care if probably how you feel with Horizon. Horizon points you in a direction, and you can do all these side things. Well, I think Zelda kind of does that because it does have it has your adventure log. So it's got like main quests, side quests, shrine quests, and other things that you can do.
Yeah.
And then you choose them, and then you can look at them on your map. And I think that you can do the Guardians. I think the big things, like, the number one quest under your adventure log is like kill Ganon, or defeat Ganon. But you have that from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So,
this is easy.
yeah, end goal, defeat Ganon. And then right under that is like wake the Guardians. And so you're like, okay. And so that's what I'm doing. But there's no particular order in which it tells you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm just guessing. Like, let me wander up here. Can I do this one? Oh, yeah, I can. And like, there's one that I'm trying to get to, but like, he's surrounded by lava and it gets really hot. And so I don't have I guess I don't have the gear. Right, exactly. I don't have like the heat outfit.
You have lava shoes?
That I can. Right.
Oh, man, I forgot my lava shoes.
Oh, man, I left my lava shoes at home. And so, so there's that and just figuring that out. And for some reason, because I'm not wrapped up in the world, I guess, the way people are, I'm just like, ugh. When you have to like travel across a map, you're like, shoot.
Right.
And so, there's just a little bit of that. There's a little bit of like, what's nice is that it's not a super easy game.
Yeah.
And so when you do defeat like a mini boss, you do feel accomplished. Like, okay, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not just you don't feel OP by any stretch of the imagination.
So what about like when you're fighting like one of the boss things, I forget what you call them, the
Guardians?
Guardians. Like, because I hear that, weapons, they, you get a few hits in and then they break. Do you have to have like 38 weapons in your bag before you go attack one of these things?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to have like, you
Jeez.
probably go through like 3 or 4 weapons, maybe a boss.
Wow.
And so that's tough because let's say I try to go fight something that I'm not supposed to be fighting yet necessarily, and I'm taking off barely anything off their life. Well, now I've wasted like 3 or 4 of my favorite swords, and those are gone, and I just end up running away. Like, oh, never mind, sorry, sir. And so, so it's just different than a lot of games I've played.
Yeah.
But probably exactly what Zelda fans are wanting.
Would it have been different for you if you went into it not hearing from everyone it was the greatest thing since Jesus sliced bread?
Well, I think that's anything, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I
It's the hype, man. It's the hype.
If I give you some ice cream and I say, dude, this ice cream is literally the best ever. No ice cream ever in history has been rated better than this ice cream. Everyone agrees this is the best ice cream that's ever come out.
Right.
And then you're like, but I don't like pistachios that much.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
you know what I'm saying?
Then you're wrong for it.
Exactly.
Yes, you do.
So I'm trying to view the game. It's hard because of you saying that it definitely I'm looking at the game through that lens.
Yeah.
But I'm not jaded enough that I'm like, all right, Zelda, impress me.
Right.
And then
Right,
I'm
right,
playing it like looking
you're
down
giving
at
it
it
a
with my
shot.
nose up.
You're
I am
You're
giving
definitely
it a shot.
giving it the college try, but you know what? At the same time, there's got to be a point when like if you're not happy with it, man, move on. Like
But that's the problem. There's nothing else really to move on to at the moment.
Well, yeah, until he gets off tour,
Mario
like he can
Kart,
actually
like, drops.
sit down and chill. But
Oh, you mean
but,
on
like,
the Switch?
Yeah, on the Switch.
No, I mean move on. If you need to move on from the Switch, then you move on from the Switch. I mean,
Yep.
if you're not happy, there's no reason why you need to keep going through with it. But I mean,
Yeah.
Well, actually, there is, because he told the community he was going to finish it.
Yeah.
He kind of made his bed there. Now he's got to lie in it.
Well, and I don't mind beating it. It's definitely
Yeah.
not.
Right.
It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is awful. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like that.
right. It's just like,
I just
all right, we
wish
just
I
got to
had all
knock
the-
this out.
Yeah, I just wish I had the butterflies. I want the butterflies everybody else had.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so to Ed's question, I'm not looking down on my nose like impress me, but it's hard not to look at it through the lens of this is the best reviewed game of all time.
Right.
And so trying to wonder if that's only nostalgia or are people loving the game because it's amazing?
Right.
Well, it's a combination. I think it's nostalgia and
Yeah.
fanboy, and the fact that they've been Nintendo fans and Zelda fans for so long. So
Well, but there's definitely like it's doing a lot. It seems to be doing a lot of things that Zelda people have kind of wanted
Right, have
forever.
wanted,
You know.
right.
So
But at the
there's
same
definitely
time,
that.
like it's a guy. It has to be more than that.
Mm.
Like it has to be, right? Like it's got to be more than just Zelda fans. There's got to be newcomers that are playing this. Like, hey, this game is amazing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because the game is good. I don't have any like. It's not like I'm playing it and XYZ is really annoying about the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know? And so it is a good game for sure. Like there's no question about it that it's well put together. They thought this thing out. It was not thrown together. It doesn't feel like you're
Yeah.
not having to download a patch every 3 days to fix the things that they've left undone.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It feels like, and I don't know it yet, but it feels like a fully formed and flushed out story. We hear so much of, especially with the PlayStation and Xbox games now, we have so many day one patches. Now it did have a patch at first, but we have so many patches going on and so many people complaining about stories and things not feeling flushed out and like feeling like you only got half this is not what happened with Destiny. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yes.
When Destiny
Yeah.
came out, everybody was so hype, and then they feel like it fell short. And then the DLC and the patches kind of brought it back. Okay, I see. This is what it was supposed to be. No Man's Sky had all this hype, and then it came
Yeah.
out, and they're like, and then they kind of build it up, and people are like, it's getting there finally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like they were like, here it is. We've been working on it for forever, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
are, which is great. I'm just trying to get there with the like the ooh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When everybody's had that. We talked about crying a couple weeks ago in video games, and we none of us had never really cried, but I think we've probably all had butterflies.
Right.
And so when you're
yeah.
playing something and you're just like hype, like, oh snap, this is so banging right now. Like I remember when I first started The Last of Us, you're like, oh shoot, this is different. And I think probably what Chris
Yeah.
has been feeling with Phantom Pain, what he's felt with Horizon, where you
Yep.
just love it and you're smiling.
I was
It's
doing
what I
that
felt.
woo about 4 or 5 times last night when I was finishing up
Yeah,
the
man.
game.
Exactly.
awesome.
That's the thing. Like when you wake up and you're like, "Oh man, I can't wait to play this game again." Like that.
Yes.
That's a good game for you. And it sounds like you're waking up going like, "All right, I just got to finish this."
Yeah.
I'm
It sounds like
I'm waking up like, I hope I get some Zelda in today. You
Oh,
know
well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
good.
So it's like I hope I get around to being able to play some Zelda.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh my gosh, let me go grab it real quick and bring it to the bed and wake up a little
Right.
earlier than everybody else and play a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm saying? We've
Yes.
all been there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, sure.
But it's definitely not like, okay, Switch, and here we go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Well,
like,
and
all right.
I don't know if I mentioned it the other week when you were talking about it, but I remember thinking about the fact that, for the past, few weeks you've been, I got a little bit of Zelda in. I hope to get some Zelda in. But when Horizon came out, you were like, I got into that. Like,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's
so that
definitely
was a
different.
big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely grabbed me. It's telling the story or telling a story more in the way I like a story being told.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Zelda, I feel like it does good at setting up a story and telling it, but I also feel like it might leave a little bit up to the hoping you know a little something already.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think I know that you've played a couple of Zeldas, right? Didn't you say that? Before this one?
I've started a bunch of Zeldas
Gotcha.
and played like 2 seconds of 3 different Zeldas.
Do you think at all part of it is that because even though this Zelda is doing a lot of new things for Zelda, story-wise, like main high level, like this is what you're doing, isn't it? Aren't every Zelda the exact same thing? Kind of like
I
Mario,
have
like you
no
got to save
idea.
the princess. You've always got to defeat Ganon. I mean, it's...
I don't know.
Okay. That's what I've been told. I don't know for sure either, but...
Yeah, I'd imagine in all of them, Ganon's the bad guy, like Bowser. You know,
Yeah.
I think Ganon is, Link's Bowser. But I don't know that, I don't know. I don't know if you're saving, this one doesn't feel like you're saving Zelda
Yeah.
or that you're about to go work alongside her to defeat Ganon.
Well, I just wasn't sure. I was wondering if like maybe that was somewhat tempering your expectations too, because like with Horizon, for instance, like that's a brand new story that you've never heard before, so it's all new. Whereas Zelda,
Yes.
even though the gameplay and mechanics might be new, overall arching story is kind of the same. But if you're not sure, then I guess that doesn't really hold water.
And it doesn't. And to me, it doesn't matter. Like, go save the world. Is the more the way I look at it, and that's a story that's been told a million times. Anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm needing that to be any different. you
Yes.
Yeah.
know?
So,
Gosh,
quick question. Apart from the game, how do the Switch controls feel? Are you getting more comfortable with it? Like, do you feel like the control itself?
Yeah, I'm
like-
okay with it. I played the Test Fire on Splatoon.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a game. They had a demo come out for Splatoon 2, and had these. It was really weird the way they did it. It was like 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, and then the next day 1 hour in the afternoon or something crazy. It was
Really?
something weird like that. Like I think it was like 3 days in a row where it was like 2 hours each day spread out. So I only got to play during 2 of those test periods. It was for some reason that control was real wonky to me. Like I could not dial it in at all. I had the sensitivity turned all the way down and still felt like I was like like all over the place.
That's how I was with the original one on the Wii U.
Oh really?
Yeah.
See, I never played the original. So it's just a looser thing.
Yeah, and it was weird because people were like, "Well, then turn off motion controls," and I was like, "But isn't that the point of?"
No, I didn't even have motion controls on.
Yeah, like
I just had regular controls on.
yeah.
Huh.
So, but it was still fun. Like I played it a bunch. I tried to play it the whole hour that it was up. And I also had never played a Splatoon before, so I had no idea what the point was. I didn't know that it was like this, cover the map in paint and then shoot each other along the way.
Yeah.
So that seemed fun. I could see why people get into that, especially once they open up a bunch of maps and stuff like that. And
I'm excited for you to get into the new Mario game for the Switch. I really want you to enjoy that.
I know
It looks pretty
too.
good. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, I have butterflies on Mario, so I can see like where you're just like, oh, all right, here we go, Mario. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I hope happened. But anyway, I'm talking way too long. But
It's all good.
that's me. But I am still liking the Switch, so that's fun. It's all about the portability, man. It's not gonna be about the graphics. It's not gonna be about. I'm not gonna have a bunch of buddies that own it probably, and I'm not gonna have a friends list like I do on PS4. But I'm the play it on the couch while the wife is watching something. To play it in the bed, play it in the bunk.
Right.
That's pretty. And the fact that it stays at the same, you feel like you're still getting the same quality.
It's
Away
great.
from
That's
the television that you get at the television.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah. All right. So that's me.
Nice.
And that's it. Yes,
Well
sir. Router, you got it?
Oh, of course.
Of course you do. Well, let's do it! Oh, did I mention I've been doing voiceover for 8 hours a day?
No, you're good. Go have a drink of water. You'll be fine.
Yes,
it's all good.
Some hot
That was a
tea.
good one. Some hot tea, perhaps.
Yes.
Chamomile.
Some chamomile. New releases this week. We have MLB The Show 17
Wow.
for the PS4,
Biggin.
which is out.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And then yeah, that is a big one. And then we've got, it's like DLC week. We've got, as Eduardo has mentioned, Mafia 3 Faster Baby. Dark Souls 3 has DLC, The Ringed City. Titanfall 2 Colony Reborn. And as Ed mentioned, The Walking Dead Telltale series, A New Frontier Episode 3 Above the Law is out for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Has Been Heroes for the PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Vikings Wolves of Midgard for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Salt and Sanctuary for the Vita. And Snake Pass for the PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Nice. The Vita's like, thank you.
Yeah.
For giving me something.
I had to throw a little Vita love in there. It's like,
I'm still here.
I still have games. We will not have MPD for March because March's not over yet, and it won't be until mid-April. We had one little oops at Kenny Riot. Oh yeah, hashtag MTTG oops. A leaf is pronounced a leaf, AY-LEAF.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know.
Gotcha.
So
That was
there
my
you go.
fault, of course.
That is a minor oops. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
yeah. And that's it. Back to you guys.
Christopher McCracken.
Well, it seems like Destiny 2 has finally officially
Come on,
been
baby.
announced.
Come on, baby.
They, as it's kind of been the way things have gone of late, they somewhat had their hand forced because some promotional material leaked out, some pictures of posters and like somewhere in Italy. And
But at
they're
least
like,
they were
okay.
ready.
Yeah, and so they
At
put
least
up
they
a
were
logo on their Twitter that said Destiny 2 and showed what looked like the planet of Earth and the area around the tower kind of on fire. And then yesterday, the day before recording, they released a teaser that features Cade 6 just doing his funny little antics and being all hilarious as the city is just imploding around him. And it's,
Was he always funny? Was
yeah,
funny
he
in the
was. So
original game?
he's always
I didn't
had
play
kind
as
of
a
the
hunter.
funny one-liners and the funny quips and stuff whenever you go to the tower because he's one of the Vanguard. He's the Hunter Vanguard.
And he's
and then-
played by who everybody wants Nathan Drake to be, right?
Yes, Nathan Fillion.
Oh, nice.
And he was in when they did year 2, the Taken King, that they kind of revamped the story. Not revamped it, but they the new story that they were trying to tell, they did a much better job than they did in vanilla Destiny. And Cade 6 was kind of like one of the main protagonists of that, like leading your pathway. Like obviously you and your character is doing all the work, but he's kind of the guy leading you through and giving you all the commands and kind of talking with you. So you got to see a lot of his humor and stuff that he does. And he's definitely like, out of all the personalities in Destiny, he is easily the best one. And I'm not just saying that like for me, like it seems like it's resoundingly said that like Cade 6 is an awesome character and everybody really likes him. So when you're doing a promotion for Destiny 2, it made a ton of sense to have Cade 6 be your guy that you put out there front and center because everybody loves Cade 6. And I mean,
It was a great teaser trailer.
Oh, it
my
is
gosh.
so good. It's funny. It's nice and short, which teasers typically are. They're supposed to have a full reveal on March 30th, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And it's getting me excited because as anybody who's followed my Twitter or heard a little bit on the show, like I've definitely had like a love-hate relationship with Destiny over these years that it's been out. Like I really loved it, then I got really annoyed, and then I left, and then I came back and really loved it again, and then they started doing more crazy stuff that I didn't like, and I just want to love the game. And so I'm excited to have like a clean slate and just start out with Destiny 2, and hopefully it's the game that everybody really wanted, like right off the bat, and then just gets better as it grows from there. That's what I'm hoping. I'm getting excited for it. So March 30th is going to be the full reveal trailer, so look forward to that.
Yeah, that's right. That'll be the day after this comes out. I mean, the day before this comes out. So hopefully you've seen it already.
How was it?
Yes.
Yeah, what
yeah.
did you think?
Man, wasn't that Destiny 2 trailer awesome?
Oh man, that guy was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, GameStop is closing more stores
Ooh,
here in
yeah.
2017.
Really?
Yeah, they said they're gonna close at least 150 of their retail stores worldwide of their 7,500. So it's not a huge shot, but it's still, it's not good to be closing stores.
No.
But you can turn in those used stores for about a quarter of the price you paid for them.
Exactly. How does that feel?
Boom, Ed. Boom.
Man,
well done.
You know what's funny about you saying that? It was like when I was thinking about bringing up the story, I was like, all right, Gabe, I need you to stay positive. News. Don't present any bias.
I'm here for you.
Ed just took it south for you.
I know, but I have a really like rough time with GameStop because GameStop to me came along and ruined everything good about the video game store in your towns.
How so?
Well, you know how they always talk about how Walmart comes along and kills the mom and pop.
Yes.
Right.
And I feel like GameStop did that with video game stores because video game stores felt like they were community driven 20 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago when you would be able to I remember we had a place called Funko Land that was
we had
here,
Funko Land.
and you were able to go in and they'd have a system sitting out and hey guys, how are you guys doing? Do you guys want to try a game? And we'd be like, oh yeah, can we try the new whatever on Saturn? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. And they'd pop in the game and let you play it for a minute and then be like, all right, guys, we got to, let somebody else play it or something like that. And you go and trade in games. They're knowledgeable. They were friendly. It felt like it had a more mom and pop feel to it. And I feel like that when you saw and then Funko Land, I think I'll probably get oopsed on this. I think got bought by EB Games, and then so our Funko Land turned into an EB Games, and then EB Games gets bought by GameStop, and then it turns into a GameStop, and then it gets closed down.
Yeah,
and so it feels like GameStop has just come along and just done this sweep of corporate video game store. Now it's
exactly.
It feels. Yeah. To me, I'm not saying the people feel stiff,
right?
But the company feels stiff. It feels very corporate and very 8 guys at the top making the decision for everyone down below.
Yeah,
and it's made it really tough for video game stores in our area. You have to remember, as a guy who loves video games, the closest mom and pop video game store to me is 40 minutes away.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And that used to not be the case. We used to have 3 in this area, Yeah.
Wow.
Your point is well taken because Lauren goes through it too. With her stationery store and gift store, it's you could go to Target and get a lot of stuff, or and it's kind of it's there and it's that corporate stale same old thing, or you can come into a store, get more of a personal touch, and that's definitely been lost, I think, with video game stores because GameStop's is just kind of taken over, and it is a business and it's not necessarily a relationship. Now in some stores you will probably have great managers that make you probably still feel like that. They'll remember you, they'll remember your game style, and they'll recommend things. But that's not in every GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and so it's
interesting.
It sucks because for me, I'm like, oh, they're closing 150 stores, and for some reason, because I come from a fallen context, I'm like, yeah, that's what y'all get. But then on the other hand, I'm like, but wait, I want gaming to be available to everybody. I want it to continue to thrive, and I want because you can create a just like Router was saying, you can create a community feel out of a GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
It's the people. That's the thing. The people is what make it.
Right.
GameStop can just be a shell. If you have good people that work there and take care of their customers, which is usually kind of going above and beyond, then it makes sense. That's what I would love to do
and
too.
We're a little spoiled here too, because in the Cool Springs area, which is a 1 square mile area, there was 3 GameStops.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Right.
And
a Best Buy right there.
Yeah, and a Best Buy was right next to one of them. So one of them did close, so now we're down to 2 of them. but those guys can be friendly in there. You know what I'm saying? The turnover rate is, fast. There's going to be maybe one guy that works there for like 5 or 6 years, but then, anybody under him is, in and out of there in like a year or 2 years or, 6 months.
That's the nature of retail. Nobody wants to stay in retail.
Yeah, that's how retail goes. So it just makes me, it makes me sad for GameStop and for the opportunity to be able to have a place like that. But at the same time, I really wish that, like, I don't know, man. I just love the mom and pops. That's why I try to go find places when I'm on the road, because I want to go support and I want to go buy little things that they make and stuff like that. So it just, I don't know. I'm on the fence with it.
And recently
I'm with you.
They've had so many stories come out about how they push their incentive programs and the resale programs to their employees, and so it kind of forced them to have, like you mentioned, that corporate colder feel. Because that's how the employees, their hands were kind of forced as well.
Right. Because I understand that the used game is where they make their money.
Right.
Yes.
And so I understand that they have to, just like when Jenny was in retail, she was saying that one of the places she worked, they used to push the credit card thing. Get them to buy the credit card. Get them to buy the credit card. And so I understand when the pressure's coming down on you, what are you to do?
Right.
But it just sucks, man. Because you're like, really, you're gonna give me? I think I looked up because I was gonna take back my 3DS games that I have. I have Bravely Default and Yokai Watch, and I think they were gonna give me like 75 cents or something nuts. Like it was something crazy low. But I was like, oh I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'll just do it on eBay. You know what I mean? It's like, at least offer it to me to where it's like I'm not saying that you're gonna be eBay. Or that you're going to be Craigslist. I know you can't give me $20 for the $60 game I bought. I get that. But give me $5. Like, it would make me feel so much better.
Don't insult me.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Here you go, Sonny. Here's a nickel.
Don't make me feel like an idiot in front of people. I'm trading. Oh, you're trading these two? You're like, will you keep your voice down? We'll give you $2. You're like, will you keep your voice down?
It was the same way with like CD stores. I remember I would take in CDs to sell them, and it's like the same kind of thing. And that's why, like, granted, I don't really buy physical games anymore, but it's like I didn't, even when I did, it's like, well, I would just go to eBay and sell it, or find a person I knew that might want it and either sell it or give it to them, depending on who they were, because I just didn't want to go through the hassle. To me, it was a hassle always to go into a GameStop and sell things, or a CD store back in the day. It's like I never enjoyed the process. And like I've gotten all my hardware, like my PlayStation 3, my PlayStation 4, my Xbox One, like all my current hardware, I guess I should say, I bought all of them from a GameStop. But outside of that, I very rarely go inside of a GameStop. The last time that I went, actually, I guess I was in a GameStop last week because they're going to be getting the McCree Funko Pop is like an exclusive to them, the one that I want. And I found out from a friend that you could pre-order. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just go pre-order. It's like $12 or whatever, just to make sure that I have them, because I don't know if they're going to be a hot ticket item and like go off the store shelves or something. Like this way I can at least guarantee I get one.
That's just because you love McCree.
Right.
Yeah. And the girl behind the counter that I was talking to, like, she was super friendly and super nice. Like, I didn't recognize her, so she wasn't there the last time I went, which was probably, 6, 7, 8 months ago. But I mean, she was really nice and everything, but it was just like, it's just kind of, she had a bit of that I'm dead inside look, kind of like, and when she's telling me, oh, and by the way, you can sign up for this and sign for that. And I was just like, I'm just kind of looking at her, letting her finish her spiel, because I don't want to cut her off.
Of course.
You get that look behind her eyes where she's like, I know you don't want to hear this, but I got to say this real quick.
Yeah.
But outside of that, she like lit up and she's like, oh yeah, we're getting all these new, when she was talking about the Funko Pops and all that was there. It's like, you can see the spark in the people that work there, but the store is just like, it is what it is.
Well, they don't even barely have demo stations anymore. I remember, like, you used to go into a GameStop when they were still GameStop, and there'd be like demo stations where you could just go play something for a minute, and you're like, golly, y'all, you know what I'm saying? What's all these clothes and cell phones and all this stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so much crap in there now. It's like, it feels like if they got back to their first love, that maybe things could turn, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the numbers, of course. They're doing things for a reason. They're selling cell phones and iPads in there for a reason, and it must make money, because the turnaround rate of buying an iPod from a 10-year-old that his parents gave him and giving them $3 and then turning around and selling it for $75, I understand how that's a moneymaker. But it doesn't invite more business. You know what I'm saying? You do that once. You know what I'm saying? screw me once,
Yeah.
fool me
Right,
once,
right.
shame on.
Well, I feel like from a camaraderie standpoint, kind of like what you were saying before, like you would have at the mom and pop, where you get people in there and there's customers that they're all just into games and chatting about games and whatnot. I feel like for the GameStop world, anyways, the way that they're having that's coming back in a way for them is in ThinkGeek, which they also own, because you just go in there and it's just nerd and pop culture stuff all over the place. And then we have one of those in the mall near us amongst all the 3 GameStops that's around my vicinity. And you go in there and the people are like nerding out and chatting, and the people that work there seem like they're way happier. I don't know. I'm assuming they don't have some kind of subscription to a magazine or anything to push, but it's a way better experience. It's like if this was the experience at GameStop, GameStop might be doing better. I still think at the end of the day, GameStop's going to die regardless, because everything's going to go all digital. I mean, physical is going to be like a niche thing. It's just the way it's going to be.
That was when I first saw this story. The first thing I thought of is it's the beginning of the end for brick and mortar stores. Like I mean, now granted, 150 stores.
Yeah.
Out of their 7,500 is not. I think that's just the stragglers that are just struggling, but they have others in the area, so that's not a big deal. When the majors start going, that's really when it's going to be like, oh, this is the end. It's the start of all things digital now.
Right.
So, it's very interesting, and I love this perspective too, because you do miss that. And coming from a store owner and a small business owner, we go through this almost every day, because it's funny, like return policies. People are so used to they can just return anything unopened or even opened, and just it's already been played with or whatever. And my wife has a different return policy because it's custom stuff, and it's like, and people are like, well, why don't you allow that? It's that Walmart/Target mentality if you can basically return anything you want after you've used it, and it doesn't work that way because it hurts a small business when you do stuff like that. So yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Power to the people. Let's go.
Right?
What else you got, Chris?
Well, it's around that time of year when, with more leaks, the Call of Duty stuff is starting to come out.
Oh,
and it looks like the next Call of Duty is a leaked poster that came out, and it's Call of Duty World War II.
Oh, yes, I heard about
It's going to be Sledgehammer Games' next Call of Duty game. The last one that they did was Advanced Warfare. And it looks like, if all this stuff turns out to be true, which at the moment is just leaked imagery, but it's going to be taking us back to the World at War, which is the last time they were there, I think, was the game that was called World at War, and it was done by Treyarch. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm cool to see it going. I mean, I liked Battlefield 1. I'd be interested to see how this one goes. It was a little strange to me because I was like, well, I'm not sure if I want to go backwards in time for Battlefield 1. Like, are the weapons going to feel like really slow and clunky? And they actually didn't. I mean, they had the slower guns that you could use that kind of felt more appropriate to the time period, but they also had ones that were still appropriate to the time period but felt a little more twitchy, and that you could use them a little bit more similar to the ones that you'd use in like more modern games, just without lasers and whatnot. So it's like, hey, if it worked for Battlefield 1, I'm totally cool to give it a shot on Call of Duty going backwards in time again. If it looks good, I have to wait for a trailer, but I'm excited to see what all their story's going to be and what direction they're going to go. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be lots of explosions and kind of crazy stuff because that's what Call of Duty's known for. But
yeah, there's a Michael Bay of video games.
Yeah, Michael Bay
of video games. I like this move. I think that's a good move. I think they've seen the success of Battlefield 1, and they're like, well, we need to jump on this too, so let's go back in time again. And World War II is always a very fascinating period.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
I think it could be really cool. I hope they do it right. Like, I love the way Battlefield 1. I know, Gabe, you didn't like it as much because there was different stories and it didn't tie in, but I kind of loved that because throughout both of those wars, there were stories and little pockets of things from different areas of the world where soldiers were, and just you get kind of that personal touch of this is what this person went through at this time during this battle.
Right.
And so going back to World War II, I think could be really, really cool.
Did you guys hear about this gold ticket that some PlayStation users are getting?
No.
Because I got a golden ticket. No, I've not heard.
No, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I know. People are getting random people. I haven't seen a reason why people are getting them, but it looks like Sony's giving out like $100 vouchers for the PSN store.
What?
yeah, they're just showing up in people's emails, and so
I'll check my email real quick.
I know, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
go for
say
it.
check your spam folder, and if you get one, you got to use it quick because they expire at the end of March. So I think it's just like
crap.
a little,
Oh wow.
a little kick in the butt or a little thank you, or I don't know why they're doing it, but people on Reddit and NeoGAF are saying that they're getting them, and so
That's cool.
check your spam folders, everybody, for some
so
golden.
We all have a
tickets.
reason to open our Yahoo accounts again.
That's right.
Yeah,
Mine's
exactly.
a
My
Hotmail. Yeah.
Hotmail.
My one tied to Xbox Live and PlayStation is a Hotmail. I'm like, oh man, this is still a thing.
Right? Your Earthlink email.
You're Juno.
Net zero.
Netscape.
Exactly. Somebody hit me up the other day. They're like, yeah, just hit me back at AOL.com. I was like, what?
Isn't that weird when you get that?
At AOL.com.
My father still has his AOL account. That's what he uses for email. I'm like, wow, okay.
so funny.
1997.
I did not know that was still a thing people use.
I know. I didn't know it was still a website.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think I still knew that
Yeah.
AOL.com was around.
Yeah.
But it's not a platform anymore, right?
No, it's
Not like
it
you
almost
sign
looks
in.
like Yahoo News.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it merged. I think they merged.
Yeah. I got you. That's
Merge.
funny. What else you got, Christopher?
Merge.com.
So Lego City Undercover is going to be another game that's getting ported over to the Nintendo Switch. I think it was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming over the Switch, but it's kind of got a bunch of Switch users up in arms because even though it's a physical cartridge, on the back of the box, it says that you have to have up to 13 gigabytes of storage is required for a game download. So you have to have additional content downloaded on, and you have to have 13 gigabytes of space, which if you have the micro SD card slot or the micro SD card in there, I mean, obviously you can have expanded it and you can put it on there. But I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, look, I'm buying a physical game. I'm not downloading it. Like all the other Switch games thus far have been all on the cartridge. And that's one of the things
And
like you were saying
don't
before.
require an install.
Yeah, and you don't have to install it. It just plays right off of the card. But
Right.
for some reason with this one, you're having to download 13 gigabytes of additional content. And
Wow.
it's like, well, okay, but and the really strange thing about it is like this game came out like a while back.
Right.
And so like,
Yeah.
why can't everything, even if there's DLC, it's like you'd think they could have all that wrapped up and just pushed to the card that's in the little box.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird, especially considering there's a lot of people out there who probably haven't gotten an SD card yet. And if you only have the 32 gigabytes in there, and I mean, that can go pretty quick. That's a lot of that 32 gigabytes.
Yeah, of course. And you really only have what did they say? It's really only 26 or something like that.
Yeah, it's never the full 32 or whatever they advertise on there. It's always less. But
Yeah.
Right.
And hey, if you're on the Switch, this is the way I lean to go to the cheapest route. But there's been like a couple stories that have come out that say like, if you get a cheap SD card, some people's SD cards have melted in the Switch.
Ooh.
So maybe just go buy something with a brand name you've heard of. Don't stay away from all that crazy stuff that you never heard of just because it's a cheap SD card.
But there are ones that are actually branded from Nintendo, and I hear that those are ridiculously expensive. So maybe avoid those.
I mean, like, get a SanDisk or something like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Lexar.
Yeah, even though I think SanDisk is one of the ones that melted in somebody's thing.
Oh, snap.
Anyway, just
No.
look it up, before you go buy one. Because that sucks. So SanDisk actually released a statement about people using the cards and them melting. So they said, we're sorry to hear about the issue that you've faced while using the SD card. This was with somebody had tagged this on because it happened to their laptop in one of the reviews. We would request that you please do not use this card on any device. SanDisk stands behind its commitment to quality and warranty on its products. So I don't know. Just be careful, y'all. Don't just be throwing junky SD cards up in the situation.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anything else, Chris?
The only other thing that I had was So this is one of the cool things about the PC world whenever you're playing games over there, besides, better resolutions and frame rates and PC Master Race, whatever.
And cheaper.
But one thing is that So Nier Automata had come out for the PlayStation 4 and the PC, and it runs, pretty well on the PlayStation 4. A few like frame rate hiccups here and there from what I've seen. But on the PC side, which has kind of been a bit of a trend, it was having some issues. And so the community, because, they can do this on the PC side, they just brought out patches for it. And there was a mod called the FAR mod, which stands for Fix Automata Resolution. And it bumps the resolution from 900p to an actual 1080p, and it has upped the frame rate for most people. For some, is from all the way from 30 up to 50 to 60 frames per second.
That's right.
And so it's really cool that on the PC side, how, there's obviously all these different mods and things that people can add to games, so you can be flying around like Skyrim is Iron Man or whatever, and all that stuff's neat. But this is the other side of it, where it's really cool that they can just basically optimize games and put out patches when it's like, this game is not running well, I'm going to optimize it, I'm going to put out a patch.
That's crazy.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and fix their mouths while I'm at it.
There you go, right? Just imagine. I wonder what they're going to do for Andromeda. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Nobody's playing that yet, right? None of us are playing that yet?
No.
Nope.
Jeez Louise, man. I heard the mouths thing is not that bad.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, but they said some people on our Twitter were like, well, it's not as bad as it was in the first trilogy. And I was like, well, that's not a high bar if it was jacked up already.
Right? Tomb Raider looks a little bit different, too, than its first one.
Yeah.
You
Which
think?
we saw screens of that movie coming out, the new Lara Croft.
Yeah.
We got to see her.
Yep.
That's great. I was hoping that she wasn't going to be over sexualized.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, she's a pretty girl, obviously.
Right.
Yes.
But she looks like legit,
it looks like she looks like a regular lady. It's not like you're like, come on, you're not go.
Yeah.
How you go run around with those things? Come on now.
Right.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the pictures look
Angelina
good.
Jolie on this one.
Yeah, the pictures did look good, and I'm excited to see, more, and then eventually when we get a trailer. I am still a little bit bummed. I don't think she was ever officially in the running, but the girl that was on The Walking Dead, the girl that was Glenn's wife, there was rumors that she might be in talks to have played that role. And once I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, because she's actually British and has a British accent. And I was like, man, I was really hoping she would have gotten the part. So I was a little bit bummed. I was like, that would have been cool. But
who they should have used is the girl who did the voice for Lara Croft.
Yeah, she's perfect.
But is she like an on-screen actor too? Or is she only a voice actor?
I don't know.
I believe she's on
I
screen, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because there's some people who, like, they're just voice actors. That's their thing, and they're not the on-screen type.
Right.
But if she was, I absolutely. Like, why couldn't she be in the running if she looks the part as well as obviously sounds the part, because she's the voice of Lara Croft?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that she is, and she's the face, isn't she?
She was on Grey's Anatomy for 5 seasons.
Well, there you go, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the girl who got the part's going to do a great job. I mean, I don't mean to, like, disparage her or anything like that, but
I think the girl who
you just
plays
wanted somebody else.
Lara Croft is a little older. I want to say she's not like 22.
No,
Yeah.
she's
I thought she was younger, actually.
she's older.
Born in 83,
okay.
however old that makes her. 33?
Yeah,
Okay.
makes her 33. So I mean, she's probably 10 years too old to play who they actually want her to be in the movie.
Yeah.
But she is the face of the games.
Right.
These last
Right.
two.
But the girl who got the part and was in the pictures that you were talking about, that's one thing that for me, she does look young to me.
Yeah, she looks very young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas that
they
girl
definitely-
that was on The Walking Dead, or maybe still is, I don't know, I don't watch it anymore, but she looked about the age range, and she has the voice, and she just, once I heard her name, it like stuck in my head. It was like, oh, that'd be perfect. And it was hard for me to remove myself from seeing that, because I just had that
Yeah.
envisioned.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm looking forward to whatever comes out for it.
Yeah,
me too.
Might reverse the curse. Reverse the curse.
Right?
There you go.
Real quickly before we move on, Twitch is going to start selling games on their website. I thought they were already doing this, but they're going to start selling games. So if you're a streamer and you're playing a game, there's going to be like, hey, buy this game that you're watching. And then if you buy it, then partners with, people that are partnered up with Switch will
Twitch.
get like a 5 Twitch. I mean, will get a 5% little revenue from that, which is great.
Nice.
So some of these big Twitch streamers will be able to make a little money, a little more money.
Nice.
From, instead of just donations and things like that and other things that go on Twitch.
Right.
But get a little 5%, a little something, a little kickback.
No kickback.
Showing off the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some
Buy some-
people don't really like this. They think it feels a bit nefarious because, like, if you're playing a game, they're like, "Oh, these people are gonna play it up more." Like, I'm having a blast. You should buy it. Here's a link.
Well,
But
just stop
I
watching
don't
those
really
guys.
feel like that's gonna be much the case. I mean, you could sit there and watch it and tell whether or not most people that play games, they can look at the way a game plays and decide, like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna like this or I'm not."
You would think.
Well, yeah. Feels like gamer common sense to me, but.
Yeah. We got a
Right.
comment on one of our YouTube videos just last night, and the comment was, "How is it?" And I wanted to be like, well, you're looking at a video. What do you think?
How do I sound like it's going?
You should have wrote this huge paragraph with all these big words and then
Yeah,
just been like,
dissertation.
but what do you think?
That's awesome.
Love it.
Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what's going on over at the YouTube channel, speaking of?
Over at the YouTubes, we've got some Horizon Zero Dawn parts 47 through 57. Well done, Chris.
Wow.
Nice, Chris.
Yeah, and I'm still going. I got to upload the rest of it hopefully today through Friday
that.
to
Lord have
finishing it
mercy,
out.
that's too many parts.
It's awesome.
And then we've got the Mafia 3 DLC, Faster Baby. The 7 parts are up there of that, so you
There
can
you
check
go.
that out. And
Somebody's slacking, apparently.
No,
Seriously.
7 parts, Ed? Really? Chris has put up 90 parts of Horizon.
And the crazy thing is, I didn't even record hardly any of the side stuff. That's just main stories.
wow, that's awesome.
Is it
though.
really?
Wow.
Yep.
Are they like 7
cool.
minutes each?
No, most of them I try to keep around 15, and so they're anywhere from 15 to 30, depending on
That's so cool.
If there's a lot of cutscenes or something, I'll make that episode longer because I don't want
there
to
you
break
go.
it up.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. Top 10 YouTube videos combining average watch time and views. Again, Gabe, I apologize last week when I copied and pasted from my Google Doc. I didn't realize it didn't take the numbers with it because it was.
Oh, there's usually numbers?
Yeah, but I guess I didn't physically write them in. It's just the numbered bullets. And so it didn't copy those. So my bad on that.
I just figured, I was like, man, Ed's just really good at keeping this straight.
No,
Like,
I got to keep it
I was
real.
like, 10, part 6, 7, Watch Dogs 2, part 14. That's my number 7.
I felt
great.
I felt bad
struggling.
for you. So yeah, I had to let everyone know that, there were no. I think you mentioned
held
it
it
wasn't
down,
numbered.
brother.
So well done, Gabe.
I should have used my hands. I got 10 fingers.
There you go. We're looking at the week of March 21st through the 27th. Number 10, Married to the Games, episode 236, standalone DLC expansion pack.
Yes. Which Naughty Dog did come out and say, instead of doing DLC, we're doing a standalone game for.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Standalone expansion.
So it's definitely not a standalone DLC.
Right.
Yeah.
I still
close.
love it.
Number 9, Hugh Part 10, University.
University.
Number 8, Hugh Part 11, Ending. Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14.
That's why.
Jeez.
I knew somebody was going to do that at some point. Swamp.
Number 6, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 5, Watch Dogs 2 Part 5, Bottom Dollar Fail. Number 4,
Korea.
Drawful 2.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah,
What?
out of nowhere.
That's interesting.
I don't know what's going on with that.
It's funny, those bottom dollars are always together. The Watchdog 2 bottom dollar, complete and fail, are always together.
Yep, they think they're going to figure out how to get that crane moving, and they don't, so they got to keep watching.
That's so funny.
Let's see, number 3, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19, Paint Job. You ready for this? Number 2, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I know.
What
right?
got booted?
It's a weird week. Number 1, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48, Ghost Signals.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know
Wow.
what's going on.
There we go.
Is it Korea? Is it South Korea again?
We'll take the silver.
I like that.
We'll take
Weird.
the silver. Yeah.
That's cool.
Pulling the upset.
Wow.
It kind of
Yeah,
makes me
it is.
sad.
No, don't let it be
No.
sad. You let Xavier beat and destroy my bracket. My bracket is so jacked up.
Listen, I didn't get a chance to watch Last of Us 2 again a lot this week, so it's my bad.
That's what it was.
It was me.
Tim.
It was me.
Way to let us
His
down.
numbers up.
That's what I get for putting the audio at the end of the credits last week. So people were like, "Oh, I don't have to go watch it now."
Yeah, I know, right?
I heard it. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, what urban legend in gaming do you remember floating around that turned out not to be true, or one that surprisingly was true? Starting over at the forum, Robert Darrell Good Jr. Please start doing a soul singing career, because it would just be awesome. I can think of a couple possible urban legends. In my very first Mario game, there was a glitch where if you made a fire flower sprout, then took a hit as Big Mario, then touched the flower, you could be Little Mario, who would, for a split second, become Big Mario, throw a fireball every time you pushed that B button.
Wow.
The other possible urban legends would be death by traffic cone in Halo. The physics in those games are such that if a traffic cone or other loose object gains enough momentum from, say, an explosion or something, it would kill you. Last time I looked up my stats from Halo Reach on the developer's website, I actually had more deaths from traffic cones than some of the weapons in the game.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's funny. Okay. This one's a bit long.
Okay.
Go for
And
it.
just stick with me.
All right.
Gotcha.
You know, a lot of the Mortal Kombat ones were fake, but then this is riot.exe, sorry, on the forum. You know, a lot of the Mortal Kombat ones were fake, but then became real, like animalities or animalities. You know,
I felt like you had it.
yeah, you know what I?
We
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think it's animalities.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Okay, people would talk about how they swore Sub-Zero turned into a polar bear in Mortal Kombat 2, but it didn't happen. Then Mortal Kombat 3 introduced animalities, and boom, Sub-Zero turns into a polar bear. There was also Ermac, the red ninja who debuted in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, was born from a rumor about a red ninja being hidden in the first Mortal Kombat, though it was actually just a shortening of the phrase error macro somewhere in the code for the game, and people just ran with that. A classic one was Xing Long, and again, I'm probably saying all these. I'm going to say a bunch of these names wrong. In Street Fighter 2, one of Ryu's famous win quotes is, "You must defeat Xing Long to stand a chance." But it was actually a mistranslation. He was supposed to say Dragon Punch.
That's way off.
Not Xing Long. But since
must
people didn't
defeat.
know any better, they thought he was referring to his master or something. EGM magazine ran with that and created one heck of a fake Japanese magazine page that supposedly taught players how to fight the mysterious Shang Long in place of M. Bison at the end of the game. You were supposed to go 10 rounds against M. Bison without getting hit once, and then you know when you did it right when Shang Long, who was basically gray-haired Ryu, would come in and beat up M. Bison, and then you two would fight. Thing is, that's impossible to do because you can't have 10 draw games in a row. The game just wouldn't allow that. Capcom might have been inspired by that, though, because when Akum first appeared in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, if you did fulfill the requirements to fight him, he appears right before you fight M. Bison by teleporting in and landing his trademark move, Shun Goku Satsu,
Nailed it.
on M. Bison, taking his place as the final boss. I knew, our community, I knew they'd
know,
have better
right?
ones than
Wow.
us.
I love
We're
this little history lessons.
I think that if you turn 3 times in a circle, that Kirby would get skinny. Over on Facebook, thanks for that, riot.exe. That's
Yes.
That's
That's
awesome.
great, man.
That's
very
great.
in depth.
Yes, thank you. Over on Facebook, Mark Boucher, getting Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue by doing some stupid stuff in particular order and then having to push a truck or something to fight him. Apparently the only way to get him was to cable link a special Nintendo at special Nintendo events or a Game Shark. That's funny. Dak Huntley, the legend of Shenlong. Shenlong was supposedly Ryu and Ken's teacher on Street Fighter II. The legend was if you go through the game flawlessly, you would jump on M. Bison. That's hilarious. He goes on to explain the EGM thing.
Funny.
That's hilarious because I never even heard of that.
I had never heard of that either. A lot of the Mortal Kombat stuff I had heard, but not the Street Fighter stuff.
Yeah, me either. Herman Scott, an urban legend that was surprisingly true and funny, was on Tomb Raider 2 for Tomb Raider 2 on PS1. You can get Lara Croft's old butler to fart while you were training during the mission. It would happen randomly whenever you ran into him.
That's awesome.
There's no way that's true.
What they said?
But that would be awesome.
It's on the internet. It's got to be real.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
Over on the Twitters, Felipe at I like some games, or I like some games, or I like some games, or I like some games,
or I like some games.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of different ways you can take that. Sonic kills himself if you leave the controller alone for too long. Got to go fast or jump off, I guess. And it's true. It's funny. I never thought of him as killing himself, but if you did leave the controller for a long time, he just goes and just jumps off the map.
Yeah.
But I never thought of it as like suicide.
I didn't either.
Burn at Dantes_Belmont. Samus from Metroid is a woman. That one was true. You could play without the armor if you finished under a certain amount of time. Lies. Yep. The Nerd Father at DSpin67. I want to say the Madden curse. Vic, Culpepper, Falk, George, McNabb, Gronkowski, Levins. So for those that don't know the Madden curse, it used to say that if you ended up on the cover of Madden, you would get hurt that season. And it just happened a little too often.
Yeah.
And became a thing where people were like, ooh, you don't want to be on the cover, though, because you might get hurt. Blake Carter at the Radio Carter, that Luigi was unlockable in Mario 64. I spent weeks trying to find that green hat wearing goober to no avail. I'm just gullible. I like that. And then again, man, Joseph E. Richardson at Metaphysics, I'm guessing, METAPHYZXX. There was a Street Fighter 2 rumor to be able to fight Ryu's master, all kind of how-tos, none of which worked. That's crazy.
Right.
And then Hops and Heroes at Hops and Heroes. There was an April Fool's gag in EGM back in the day for GoldenEye. It was unlocking all the bonds from the movies.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Freaking, man, EGM was contributing to all kind of lies back in the day.
They were the first tabloid.
Yeah.
Gaming tabloid.
Hashtag fake news.
Alternative facts.
Thank you guys. Yeah, exactly. Alternative facts, fake news. Thank you guys so much for answering the question. I love that. It was way better than anything we could
got a
present.
lot
that
of
was great
responses.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good ones, guys. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Come check out the website, marriedtothegames.com. And like Ed said, YouTube.com/Married to the Games. Come check out stuff over there. And only because you cut out early last week.
Oh yeah.
Ed.
Rate us over on iTunes. Leave a review, and I'll continue to ignore Router's calls.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was hoping you'd do. That's what I was hoping you would do. I love you, Ed. It's
I
awesome.
love you, man.
Well, let's get into some questions.
Okay, we're going to start with email. Chris Schultz. Why hasn't Ed called Tim back? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That would be great. Wanted to start off by saying, Gabe, in Zelda, you need to be going to all the shrines around the landscapes. By just doing the 4 main dungeons, you're missing out on what makes the game as loved as it is. The random things you find throughout are what makes the game. I am 43 hours in, 64 shrines, and no Divine Beast dungeons. Now for the question. We have 2 celebrity lookalikes on the podcast. Have Chris and Ed ever been told they look like a celebrity?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Just wait till we get to Facebook.
What?
I'll wait till then.
What does that mean?
Yes. Yeah. No.
It'll
right.
make sense.
Yeah, we'll get to it in just a little bit.
Okay. Ed?
When I was, it's weird. I've occasionally gotten John Cusack.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I've occasionally gotten Kevin Spacey, and whenever I get them, I'm not wearing a hat. It's totally my hairline.
Weird.
Yeah, because
that's funny.
I don't see either one.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, I don't know about
When I was younger,
Kevin
I got
Spacey.
Lou Diamond Phillips, but I grew out of that.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
funny.
That is awesome. And the funny thing is these guys don't know who that is, so it's even better.
There was this one time I was at the mall here, and I was going up the escalator, and there was an advertisement, right on the wall there. And it was this guy and this girl wearing, it was during the winter time around Christmas, and they had these big sweaters, and they were holding each other and laughing. And I could have sworn the guy was Ed. So much I took pictures, and I said, did you do
you
a modeling
did. That's
career we
right.
didn't know about? Yeah.
That's so funny.
I got to send that to you guys because it looks just like
Yeah, I
him.
wanna
Yeah,
see
it
that.
did look
Oh,
like
that's
me.
yeah, send that, please. I want to see that. That's awesome.
Funny. It's we did The View, the show The View
Uh-huh.
a couple years ago, and John Cusack was the guest that day, and that Joker is surprisingly tall.
Is he really?
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, he's really tall. I was like, oh,
I did not
snap,
know that.
I wouldn't have thought
Me
that.
either. And I'm short, so maybe people are taller to me than objects in mirror might seem taller than they actually are.
Right.
But
Oh, that's awesome.
that's a good
Good question, Chris.
Now
Thanks for that.
I was curious about this Facebook situation.
No, all right. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it in just a second. Juan Garcia. I was on vacation over spring break, and after a good couple of days of Mass Effect Andromeda, I started catching up on all my podcasts. A couple of episodes ago, you all were discussing the Xbox Game Pass. There were some ideas passed around if it will help or hurt Microsoft. I wanted to throw my 2 cents in, and thinking that Microsoft will introduce the Scorpio along with the Game Pass, stating something like, along with our new 2017 games, if you didn't purchase an Xbox One, no need to worry. With Game Pass, you will get 200 plus Xbox One 360 games. With the most powerful console on the market, you get all these great games, and you don't even have to be an Xbox Live Gold member. Love your guys' energy and love the show. Thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I you need something besides it's powerful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or everybody would be on PC. If that was the selling point for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like that a lot, actually. I think that would.
And I think the
that
PS
would
Pro
be great.
has muddied the waters of wanting to jump up to the next level, really badly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's good.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, it was
All
good.
right, moving on to Facebook. Kale Meeks. Last week you guys mentioned that Fallout 4 was coming to VR. Chris seemed less than excited. So my question is, what game do you guys think would be great as a VR remake?
Ooh, Roller Coaster Tycoon? I'm just kidding.
Barf.
Man, that's a good question.
It is a good
A
question.
VR remake. I would say Nights into Dreams. You're flying, and I think, but it would need to be first person. I don't know if that would work. I don't know, man. That's tough. Because one of the things about Nights into Dreams that was so dope was watching the character kind of tumble through the air and barrel roll and stuff like that. I don't know what I want to take in VR. That's the other hard part. Like as much as I don't want to buy it, I'm like, what would I want to see it do though? And the only thing I can come up with is like tank and airplane games.
Well, the thing about VR for me so far has been it's kind of the same as what you were saying. Like, I don't really know what I want either, even though I'm the only one who's currently using it. It's like
Right.
it's kind of the experiences have to come out, and I have to give them a shot. Like if you like his question, can't really think of any game that I love that I'm like I would love this game redone in VR, because most of those games is like that's just too much. But if there was some kind of version of it in VR, would be cool. So, for instance, like the Batman game, like I never would have thought, oh, make a Batman Arkham game in VR. But they did a version of an Arkham game, and it's one of the best games on PlayStation VR, in my opinion, that I've played so far.
Right.
And another thing that I also wouldn't have thought would be the case, I've actually really enjoyed, I haven't played a lot of them, but the third-person stuff that I've played, I've actually really enjoyed in VR, which seems counterintuitive because you think VR, the whole point is to be first-person, walking around or driving around or whatever.
Right.
But just being able to completely move yourself independently and let basically you be the camera as you controlling characters, I actually really like that as well. So as far as like remake, I don't know that a one-to-one remake, I can't really think of anything, but I would like to walk around as Solid Snake, like Shadow Moses. And there was actually a project, a fan project, where they recreated Shadow Moses. It's on the PC, and you could go around and look. And the way that they built it, it was supposed to work with the Vive. Now, there's no enemies there, and you're not actually playing the game because they would have gotten a lot of trouble for that. But it was just a recreation of Shadow Moses in these really high resolutions, and you can go around in the game just with a controller or a keyboard, or you can do it, I believe, with the Vive or the Oculus. And that'd be something I'd really like to check out if I had the opportunity to get, if I had Windows 10 or something somewhere, something that was capable of running it, and I had a Vive or an Oculus. I would really love to do that.
I think they should remake Myst.
Oh, yeah.
I never played Myst.
Yeah, it was, it's a puzzle game from back in the day, but it kind of all worked by slideshow. Kind of, you know what I mean? So you would press forward and it would like fade into the next scene, It's not like you would walk there.
Right.
So maybe if they remade Myst in VR, maybe that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Ed, you have one?
I'd go with I'd go with a Layers of Fear. That was a fun game, and I bet it'd be more fun in VR.
You're crazy.
I will say the Resident Evil that I played was scary as crap, but it was exhilarating. It was, and I didn't even play like the bulk of it, but it was neat.
Like exhilarating into a heart attack.
Right?
Yeah.
Exhilarating my heart to stop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hey, I wanted
I love
to
that.
get in front of any oopses we may have already received on this episode. I just saw that Warner Brothers just issued a statement saying you don't need to download the packaging is incorrect on Lego City Undercover.
Oh,
and
no way!
The game comes on the cartridge. You don't need an internet connection. The only internet connection suggested is to download typical content update patches.
Look at that!
So there you go.
Look at you, man.
Well, that's kind of crazy that packet because that was written on the package that made it through all the certification and everything and slipped out to the print.
Yeah, looks right.
But hey, that's a good turn of events.
I know that's right.
Wow, way to go, Ed. Be on top of it.
Good job, sir.
Once in a while.
Too bad the person's already ooped us.
I know,
right? Like, oh, sorry, just heard the.
Yeah, now they're like, oh, never mind. I'll be sure to ignore those next week. All right, moving on. Janet Kirby.
Oh, Lord.
A long time ago, when here it is. When Chris was still living at home, I asked him to burn me the Maroon 5 CD, and I was so excited when he handed it to me. And then I pulled it out of the sleeve, and he had "crappy band" written across it. Chris absolutely cannot stand Adam Levine. My mom and I are avid watchers of The Voice, and the best part is that Adam Levine's mannerisms remind us so much of Chris.
Really?
It's
that's
the best.
funny.
Is there anyone that you absolutely cannot stand that people say reminds them of you, or is there anyone that reminds you of someone, but you know they can't stand them?
Ooh,
wow, I would.
That's a tricky one.
In your defense, Chris, I never would have seen you in Adam Levine.
Well, if you follow up down there and reply to my sister, our friend Janice up in Oklahoma, she's like, Steve and I think Adam reminds us of Chris as well. And then I had this woman that used to work at our company who came up and said the exact same thing to me, and she thought it so much so that just to tease me about it, she would call me Adam.
Really?
That's funny.
Maybe we just don't know Chris well.
For the record, like, I don't hate Adam Levine like a person. I just don't like his voice. I think his voice kind of annoys me, like when he sings, his singing voice.
Yeah.
So that's why I wrote "Crappy Band." And of course, that was also I was in high school and I was a metal guy and I was like, whatever, this sucks.
The rules.
Exactly. I'll watch The Voice with Stacy at times. I haven't watched it in a while, but I like Adam Levine. I think he's a funny guy and I like the little quibs and stuff, but I just didn't like his singing voice. But yeah, I was kind of the same way. Like my mom and Jenna kind of said that to me, and I was like, whatever. Y'all are just weird one-off weirdos, you know.
That's
but
so funny.
I've had like 5-6 people tell me this that are not related or connected to each other in any way. So
Wow.
I'm like, well, geez, I don't see it.
Funny,
but
Yeah.
they do.
we often don't.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, it takes somebody else to point that out.
Yeah, to point it
Yeah,
out.
I don't know if there's like I don't have anything against Dierks Bentley, and I get that a few times, but so I don't like I can't stand him or anything. You know, it's not like I have any issues with him. So no, I mean I don't have anybody that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
they hate.
obviously, I've got the Darius Rucker thing going on, but like,
Yeah, but
I always
like,
he doesn't bug me or anything. But the only thing I get like a little weird about is I'm like, so does he look young or I look real old? Because we're like 15 years apart or something crazy.
oh, you look like an old, rundown Darius Rucker.
Man, Darius Rucker is beat up when you see him in person.
He's looking. Woo.
Exactly.
But he's fast on his feet.
Yeah, exactly. But he is surprisingly fast. I saw him running. So anyway. Yep. Thank you.
No, I don't have that, but I think that's hilarious that your sister called you out on that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then it tied into a previous question in a way.
I know, right?
Yeah,
That
it's
is
awesome.
funny.
All right, moving on. Eric Thompson, here's a hypothetical question. Let's say that on January 1, you're able to buy a cup. This cup, in a size of your choice, entitles you to free drinks of the soda pop kind and refills wherever you go for the entire year. Anywhere, gas stations, movie theaters, restaurants, etc.
Yep.
If such a cup existed, how much would you pay for this unlimited privilege? # gotta make dentist visits fun somehow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I thought he was going to ask what drink we would put in.
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like I've seen this
let's-
question.
Let's carry it on. No, let's carry it on. So, how much would you pay, and what would be your drink of choice? Why don't we when we do that?
Wow.
I'm not a big soda guy.
Yeah.
Neither am I. That's
I don't
the funny
drink soda
thing.
at all.
I love what are they call? I'm gonna jack it up. What do you get at what do you get at the movies, like the ices
Oh yeah, like the slushy type
yeah.
ices.
with the polar bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
mascot?
icy. Yep.
The Coca-Cola of that
Right.
Ooh, that is good.
I love. So that's what I would buy unlimited of.
Wow.
In the summer, man, that's the
That
jam
drink
right
is
there.
good. I don't drink it often. Like I'm like
No,
Ed
because
said,
it's
I'm not a
straight
big
up
soda
sugar.
Guy, I would probably pay $35.
Wow.
Ooh, that's good.
If someone was like, "Hey, you can have ices for free all year, and this cup is $40," I'd be like, "Okay, I guess."
Wow.
Like, but then I'd probably like come December, start getting a bunch of them because I'd be like, "Oh, I didn't get any all year. I got like 3 of them. That doesn't pay for a cup.
Right?
I only got
Yeah.
it at the movies.
I
And
like
got
that
3 kids
pricing.
now. I'd never make it to the movies anymore
That's right.
because
Yeah,
it can't
I
be
like
that
that
expensive.
pricing.
Sodas are cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that I think that's a really good like $30 to $35 would probably be a good price for unlimited anywhere. But I don't know what I'd drink cuz I'm not a big soda person either. I drink pretty much water. But man, that good old sweet tea down here.
Yeah.
You got to love some sweet tea. Oh, you know what the frozen lemonades at Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
those
sweet
are so
Lord.
good.
Those things are
Oh
good.
my gosh.
Woo.
I
Yeah.
think they ring out angel sweat.
I think you're right. I think it's
I bet that's what angel sweat would look like.
Yeah,
But it's,
exactly. It looked
that's
like
what it would
lemonade.
taste like, my friend. That's
Yeah,
what it would
light
taste like.
yellow and delicious.
Yes. Yeah, oh, so good. Yeah, we get diet frozen lemonades at Chick-fil-A.
Diet frozen
And-
lemonades?
That
they
sounds
are
disgusting.
So good. It tastes the exact same.
If it's
just-
diet, that's demon sweat.
that's a demon sweat. Yeah, so I would drink Angel Sweat unlimited for $30 to $35
There you go.
for the year.
Ed,
Yeah, I wouldn't. If it was soda, I wouldn't get it because I pretty much.
Same here.
Yeah. If it was coffee,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Forget it.
I'd pay $400 for that,
Whoa!
and get my money's
Nice.
worth and save money.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
probably.
Would. You probably would, man.
Definitely
Yeah.
spend more than $400 on coffee in a year.
Right.
That's for sure.
That's very good. I
What
like
about
that.
you, Chris? What beer would you like?
Yeah, I want to say beer because beer's expensive when you're going out, y'all.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you
Yeah,
get
it
free
is.
refills.
Yes, it is.
But
That's why I
feel-
wish I drank beer.
Yeah.
Because they say beer's expensive, but liquor is even more expensive.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? These Jack and Cokes are not 2 for 1.
These Jack and Cokes aren't going to drink themselves.
But I feel like if I did choose beer, I'd also could go down a nasty road.
Yeah, it
So,
definitely could.
I would probably end up going coffee with Ed because that's the only other drink that
Yeah.
I drink a lot. Either that or like iced tea. But I mean, I can
Oh,
make
right.
iced tea so easily at home that I don't think that'd be worth it.
Lemonade. Read it.
Lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
That's a great commercial.
Yeah, it is.
Like, 'cause
Okay.
the payoff is so late.
I know.
You're like, oh, I get it. Iced tea sitting there. I love that. And, like, everybody's so sheepish too. Like,
I know.
iced tea. Oh, they play it so well.
He's like, what's wrong with people, man?
Yeah, man. Read the sign, man. Read it.
Delicious.
How much would you pay, Chris?
Do what?
How much would you pay for your unlimited
Oh,
coffee break?
I would pay. I'd at least pay $50. I don't know if I'd do 400. I don't drink coffee quite as much as Ed,
$50.
but I'd pay $50.
50?
That's a steal of the
That's
century.
way too low.
All right, 100.
Well, how much do you spend on coffee a year?
I don't know, 'cause I don't pay attention to it. I buy the beans and then I just do it at home. So I don't buy much coffee out and about. But if I had a cup that gave me unlimited refills, I'd just be stopping in all the time.
So,
And be-
wait,
oh my gosh,
real
$50.
quick, Ed, what's your ratio of going out and getting a coffee versus making it? Is it like half? Is it 60-40?
We definitely make it at home more than we do going out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say 70% at home.
Nice.
So, hey, side question. I know up where you used to be, you had Square One. Is there like a coffee
Oh,
shop
yeah,
where you
what
are
do you
now that you're like, oh, this
What are
is
you
my
going to do
jam?
now?
There is a local coffee shop that we know the guy is a really nice guy. We order our coffee from Square One.
Yeah, I figured that.
Oh my
I figured
gosh.
that.
But hey, man, when it's good, it's good.
Exactly.
That's
I
not
have these
local
visions
anymore.
of them like not sad at of all the neighbors or people they met at Lancaster, but I can just see Ed crying walking out of Square One
Exactly.
for the last time. Yeah.
It's been a good run, you guys. It's been a good run.
Right. We definitely support the local one, and we go there over Starbucks if we needed to get coffee while we're out. So
I always go to local over Starbucks when I'm out and about.
Amen.
Yeah.
Until I was in Seattle. And then I
Yeah,
felt
I don't
like
always
Starbucks
do
was
it, but
local.
I will do it.
yeah,
I was like, I'm in Seattle. I think I have to go to
I
Starbucks.
know, right?
You
Plus,
almost
that
have to,
original
yeah.
store is really cool if you can actually get in. It's just neat to see, humble
I didn't
beginnings.
see that
Yeah.
one. Oh, okay. Cool.
Final question: Twitter at Dev A Tyus. What would it take for the rest of you to get a Switch?
Runner 3 to be exclusively on the Switch.
Jeez.
A free
Chris.
Switch.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone to hand me a free Switch. That's it for me.
Xbox and PlayStation to die and everything blow up. I don't know.
Exactly. If it was FREE, yes.
If it
That's
came
the
with
only
free
way.
coffee for a year.
From Square One.
Had
From
free
Square
refills?
One.
Yeah.
Free refills.
Oh my gosh. Is there not a game that you love enough? Like if
Nope.
Now this is just hypothetical talking. If
Yep.
if Nintendo went out and was like, all right, we bought Naughty Dog and all of Naughty Dog's games are from here on out gonna be on the Switch, would you buy it then?
I'd be watching your gameplay.
I'd switch to board games.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I mean, at that point, if they'd bought Naughty Dog, sure. Let's see what Naughty Dog can do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, if when Kojima had left Konami, if Nintendo had signed him to make some
Ooh,
exclusive game, and it was like it was a Kojima
yeah.
game, not like Kojima makes a Mario or something weird like that, that would definitely make me consider it. But outside of that, I mean, realistically, I don't know what could make me buy a Switch because the portability is not really something I'd
It's not
have
a
a
thing
heavy
for me.
desire
Yeah.
for. And just first party Nintendo games, I mean, I will say right now, I'll agree they're well made and blah blah blah, but they just don't appeal to me. I just don't
Right.
care.
Right.
I don't.
Yep.
I mean, Zelda I like the art style. I think it looks neat, but all the other stuff I've heard about it and like the way that Gabe describes it, and then like the weapons, how they constantly explode. Like I hate games that do that. And I know this is people are going to get upset that I say this, but I watched a little bit of gameplay and it's like, man, if I were playing that game, I hope you can mute the music because that music in that game is annoying.
Oh, I have it. I always have it on silent.
I cannot stand any of the little chimes, the little dan dan dan, and it's like, no, get that cutesy stuff out of here. I'm over with that.
Crappy band.
Spoken like a true metalhead.
Exactly.
I just can't. I can't.
Can we just talk for a second about what if Kojima made a Mario?
Man,
That game, Mario would never be the same. Like I don't even know. I'd be like, okay, this is no longer like be the signs like they had up for Logan.
Yeah.
Parents,
Yeah,
This
parents.
is not your average
typical Mario game.
he'd be running around like attached to Toad through an umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There would be all these
Cradling him.
dead Yoshis walking around. Skeleton
right.
Yoshis.
KojiMario.
Yeah, KojiMario. That's funny. Oh
Yo.
my gosh.
That'd be messed up. Well, that's
Yeah.
it for all the questions. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Nice. Yes, thank you guys. We've had this question before, but our listener base has grown, so I'm going to ask it again. And we have, Ed and Chris are here.
Ooh.
Hey.
What series do you wish they would make more of in gaming? What series? Because, what's so hard is that some games wear out their welcome. So, where Tim loves Assassin's Creed, even he's asking Assassin's Creed to take a year off. And so they did last year. And
I was listening to last week's episode where you guys were talking about that, and in my head, I'm like, oh no, but that TV show.
yeah, exactly. The movie, you mean?
No, they're doing it. They're talking about doing a TV show now, Assassin's Creed.
Nope.
No, they're not.
They are?
Yeah,
Oh,
No.
please
Who's
don't
gonna do
that.
it?
Oh, stop.
I don't know. Probably the WB.
Oh, please don't.
CW?
Oh, please.
The
The
CW.
It'll be
CW.
right after Arrow.
Yeah,
Definitely not watching that.
Please,
Ezio, why? Why? Yeah, no, forget that, man.
please don't do that. Don't do
No.
a show. Don't do a show. Don't do a show. All right, I said it 3 times out in the universe. I'm just
It
kidding.
has to happen.
Done.
Chris, what series do you wish they made more of? They would make more of.
Well, I kind of, this is a little bit of a bad answer in a way, because I want to say Twisted Metal, because I really liked that on PlayStation 2.
nice.
But the thing
Yeah.
is they made another one on PlayStation 3 when everybody was yammering for it, and I didn't buy it. So
That's funny.
I say that, but then if it actually happened, I don't know if I'd follow through with it. But I
You'd just be
really
like,
enjoyed
"Good for
Twisted
them."
Metal and Twisted Metal 2.
That's funny. That's really funny. Ed?
I wouldn't have been mad if Nintendo would have released more than one Mario Kart per console life.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because
Did they only do
sure.
one per console life?
I
didn't
felt
real- I
like
thought-
it. At
I
least
think
with,
they did
with
2
the
on
Wii
the
and-
64.
What's that?
I think they did 2 on the 64.
Did they really?
I think they
okay.
did Double Dash and a regular one, right?
I don't know.
I think
I
they
only-
did 2 on the 64.
I
We'll
only
see if
played it
get
on the
those.
Wii and the Wii U, but I could have. I wouldn't have been mad if they would have kept making more of those.
Yeah, like every other year. Like just go ahead and crank it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Timothy?
Man, I can't think. Before Andromeda, I would have said more Mass Effects, but I'm not. It's just weird. I'm not excited for this game. I don't know why. I should be.
Oh, no.
Because I put hours into 2 and 3, and I never played the first one, but
It didn't
I
come to
don't know.
PlayStation at first, is why you didn't.
there you go. That's why. Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head. What do you got, Gabe?
I would say, would you play any more of those? What was those scary games that you were playing?
Dead Space?
Yeah, would you play more of that?
Oh yes, actually, yeah. I would love to see a little bit more Dead Space. I kind of miss that from time to time. It was good. It had good jump scares. It was creepy. Yeah, I enjoyed those games.
Nice, man.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here for you, brother.
I know you.
I really enjoyed, and I mean the way they ended it. I don't think they could make any more, but I really enjoyed the world of Infinite. BioShock Infinite.
Oh,
I
yes.
really liked it. Like,
good call.
and I know they did a DLC, which I'm there with Chris. I didn't buy it. As I'm saying that. But
Paul loved it. He loved
yeah.
the DLC.
Oh, did he? Oh, I talked to Hall this last week, by the
What?
way.
Oh, snap.
Before there was Ed
Thanks
and
for
Chris.
updating us.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
before
really.
There was, before there was Gabe, Tim, Ed, and Chris, there was Gabe, Tim, and Tim. And
That's right.
I talked to Timothy Hall the other day. He sounded it was over text, but we texted a lot, and that's got to be
Nice.
that must have meant he was
Yeah.
excited. And so he was in the mood for a typing. So me and him talked back and forth for a long time the other day. It sounded like he was doing really good.
That's awesome.
And they're at a
Good.
really
That's
sweet
great.
place.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say the world of Infinite, if they were able to do something with whatever his name is, Booker or whatever. And gosh, I really want to play Dishonored 2. Because I loved that world, and I just never got around to playing it.
Do you want to borrow my copy?
No, because I'm not going to do anything with it anytime soon.
That's true. After tour, do you want to borrow my copy?
Yes, I do. I would love that.
There you go.
Let us know, what series do you wish they'd make more of? It could be super old, like Soul Reaver or Cubert, or
Cubert the series.
something
Snake, rattle, and roll.
more recent. Yeah, exactly.
Paperboy.
Frogger.
Pong.
So let us know. Use Pog 2. Let us know. Use hashtag answer MTTG. We appreciate you guys for being here. And man, come back next week and check up on us. I'll be on the road. I don't know where I'm gonna be doing the show from next week, but it'll be someplace crazy.
Nice.
I think I'll be in Toledo, Ohio.
Ooh, lucky
lovely.
you.
There you go.
And I believe, just to get everybody hyped, I believe it will be a night show.
Yeah. Oh,
sweat.
night show.
Bum, bum, bum. Night show.
Yeah.
After hours.
Thank you guys for listening. I'm Gabe Patillo. That's Tim Router. That's Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we about this thing. Big!